At least 500 explosions recorded in less than 24 hours along the front lines in the Donbass region of eastern Ukraine. And the size of the craters are an indicator of the heavy weaponry being used in breach of a limited ceasefire meant to be in place. Russian-backed separatists from the self-declared Republic of Luhansk accused Ukrainian forces of starting the fighting. Not so, say the Ukrainian forces, accusing the separatists of being responsible for all the attacks, dozens of them. They say a kindergarten was hit, and this was published on the military website. There were no casualties, but the same picture was being used by Russian media outlets using a different name for the village that was on their side of the front line. Ukraine says it's a deliberate ploy by Russia.
Showing off military force near the border with Ukraine. These war games held by Russia and Belarus have not only spooked the West, but also many Belarusians. President Alexander Lukashenko's remarks when visiting one of the training grounds added to the concerns.
If necessary, if such stupid and mindless steps are taken by our rivals and opponents, we will not only deploy nuclear weapons, but super-nuclear ones to protect our country. But if there are no threats, we don't need nuclear weapons for 100 years.
Belarus will hold a referendum next week to amend the country's constitution, not only letting Lukashenko stay in power, but also allowing nuclear weapons from Russia to be based in the country. Lukashenko has been isolated by the West after a violent crackdown on protesters in the past year and a half. He turned to Putin for help. In return, Russia is increasingly using Belarus on the border with NATO as a military training ground.
China has sent a Kamov Ka-28 anti-submarine helicopter into Taiwan's air defense zone for the first time. Taiwan says it detected 2 Shanxi 1-8 planes and 1 Ka-28 chopper in its southwestern air defense zone on Wednesday.
According to a retired Air Force officer, the Ka-28 is an advanced attack chopper with a high ammunition capacity. It can be deployed in electronic warfare operations. Wednesday is the third time that China has sent an attack helicopter to harass Taiwan, following incidents last October and November.
The Queen still managing a smile, despite one son's public shame and another facing a police investigation of the charity bearing his name. Scotland Yard has revealed they're now looking into the Prince's Foundation, related to media reporting alleging offers of help were made to secure honours and citizenship for a Saudi national. A former aide to Prince Charles, Michael Fawcett, quit as chief executive of the charity after claims he was at the centre of the effort to help a Saudi billionaire donor. Charles is president of the Prince's Foundation, but a spokesperson says he has no knowledge of the allegations and they've promised full cooperation with the police investigation.
A danger to life warning has been issued in the UK, the country bracing for its worst storm in more than 30 years. High winds have already left damage across Europe, the force of the gusts destroying homes, uprooting trees and creating monster waves.
On board a Hamburg ferry, some passengers oblivious to the rough waters ahead of them until... Passengers grabbed their belongings and fled. Incredibly, even though some got the full force of the waves smashing through the window, only one person was injured. Much of northern Europe has been hit by dangerous weather. This was the damage in one town in Poland after a wind gust lasting just a few minutes. While 2 workers were killed when pressure from the winds led a crane to collapse in Krakow.
A fire has broken out on an Italian-flagged ferry travelling between Greece and Italy. 237 passengers and 51 crew members are believed to have been on board the Euro ferry Olympia when the fire reportedly started near the Greek island of Corfu. There are no reports of deaths or serious injury. The Greek Coast Guard has been carrying out a rescue operation.